common question we get from landlords and prospective tenants is, will your landlord accept a Section 8 voucher? So if you're unsure what a Section 8 voucher is or the rules that accompany this, then stay right here because that's what we're talking about today. And I'm going to let you know, for Virginia landlords, one of the new rules that took effect this summer related to Section 8 vouchers. So stay tuned. My name is Sue Richey. I am a residential real estate broker and I own a property management company in the Northern Virginia area in DC. We get this question a lot, and so we need to make sure that we completely understand the rules and keep up with the rules so we can correctly advise our landlords on what they can and cannot do related to Section 8. So first of all, let's define what Section 8 is. So this is a federal program through HUD, Housing and Urban Development, and it is implemented by the states. And essentially what it does is it provides rental assistance to tenants who can't afford rent otherwise. In an area like Northern Virginia where rents are very expensive, and if you have a tenant who needs to live in a certain area, they often will need assistance, and that's what this program does. Basically, when a tenant gets certified as a Section 8 or a Housing Voucher Assistance Program applicant, they go through a process where their income, their debts are all evaluated, and then they have to get approved in order to be a Section 8 voucher recipient. Similarly, the landlord and their property also have to get approved for this program. There's an inspector that comes out and looks at the property, makes sure it meets certain qualifications. It can't be something that's run down, and a landlord can't be like, well, if I take a Section 8 voucher, I know that I'm going to get guaranteed rent, so maybe they think they don't have to do so much with their property, but that's not true. It also has to meet certain guidelines and standards in order to be accepted into the program. So it's kind of a two-way thing. The tenant and the landlord and the property have to be approved for the program. So one of the things we get from landlords is they don't want to go through all the paperwork in order to be qualified for the program. So that can be a con for being part of Section 8. But on the other hand, there are guaranteed rents through the program. The government will send a rent check directly to the landlord for a certain portion of it. So for example, let's say the rent is $1,500 and the Section 8 applicant is getting a housing voucher for $1,200 of that rent. That means that's guaranteed rent coming directly from the government. The tenant needs to make up the $300 difference. So that's kind of, and there's differences. I mean, the voucher might cover all of the rent. So you never know, it just depends on the specific circumstance. But one of the things that has changed in Virginia as of July 1st is that the Virginia Residential Landlord Tenant Act, VRLTA, now says that landlords cannot discriminate based on income. So if a landlord owns 4 or more rental properties in Virginia, they cannot deny a Section 8 voucher. It used to be that if you were a landlord, you could decide whether you wanted to participate in the Section 8 or the housing voucher program as long as you were consistent across all of your properties. So if you were willing to accept the voucher for one, you would have to accept it for all. But now any landlord who owns 4 or more has to accept the voucher if they meet that, if they're in that category, if they own 4 or more properties in Virginia. So again, you might want to check this if you're a landlord in another state, see if what your requirements are for the Section 8 housing voucher program. So hopefully that helped explain it a little bit. I've put a link below to much more detail about the housing voucher program and what it means for you if you want to get involved in that for your rental property. Thanks so much. Look forward to seeing you in the next video.